contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching? This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is Sports by the Book here at the South Point Studio. I'm Jeff Parles. She's Alex White, and it's one day closer to the beginning of the college football and NFL regular seasons, Alex.
Just talking off air, pretty crazy. 15 days until week 0 for college football. We're all looking forward to it. A lot of contests around town. Of course, we have the jackpot parlay card here at the South Point, $5. Fill out as many as you want for a chance to win $25,000. If you're going to enter any other contest, though, and you need a proxy, you know where to go. As always, our Friday shows are sponsored by footballcontest.com. If you want to enter Circa, Westgate, any of these big contests, and you don't live in Las Vegas, you need a proxy, and it's important to go with the pros. Experience matters. Visit proxy.footballcontest.com. Use the promo code ALEX, ALEX, for a special offer from Maddie and Tony. We've used them. We love them. We highly recommend them. So go ahead and visit footballcontest.com.
There you go. Of course, we are so close, as you just mentioned, 15 days from Farmageddon in Dublin, as the creators of college football intended when they created the game over 100 years ago now. Looking forward to it all. And we'll be with you all season long right here on Sports by the Book. And Maddie and Tony, of course, do a fabulous job. I know you've used them over the years, Alex. And
Yeah, even though I live here, right?
Yeah, look, you never know when you maybe have to go out of town
Right.
for a weekend or at any point during football season. Life happens. So you never know. It's always good to have that extra option, even if you live right here in the state of Nevada.
Yes, it is.
All right, we will do baseball in this first half hour today. By the way, Vinny Maliulo makes his triumphant return to the desk in 27 minutes from now. So looking forward to that. We'll talk all NFL preseason. Of course, the college football championship prop that Chris and company put up will also be on the menu with Vinny and more when Vinny joins us around 10:30 Pacific time here this morning. But you and I, Alex, we got 15 baseball games, so let's get to it here today. And we start in Pittsburgh. Pirates, how about a nice little shutout yesterday from Paul Skeens and company, a 7-0 win over the Reds. So the Reds miss an opportunity to get the closest they've been in about 10 days in the wild card standings. Instead, they're now 3.5 behind the 6-seeded New York Mets at the current moment. Pirates, of course, way out of it. They're all the way down as team number 12 out of 15 in the National League. This is a pretty good pitching matchup tonight, though. The young gun Chase Burns goes for Cincinnati. Again, still hasn't fully put it together. We've seen the glimpses of brilliance, but just not fully together yet. And Mitch Keller, who I'm still a little surprised the Pirates did not get a big package to move him at the deadline. Keller has really been great the last 6 weeks after being wayward for the first 2.5 months. But you see Cincinnati is a small favorite tonight at -120.
He really has, Keller. He's been very good. And take out the one start at Colorado. We'll give him a pass for that. But
That's okay.
Other than that, I mean, really just not giving up more than 3, mostly 1s and 0s and 2s. His median is 2, going 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. On the other side, you mentioned it, Chase Burns. We didn't get to see him against Atlanta because of the postponement till the next day. So it's been a little bit since he has pitched, but the 3 starts before that, one thing you can depend on is his strikeouts, right? He's had 10 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. That's the only way I would look to play it. Maybe an under lean here, first 5 between these two. But as you mentioned it, Chase Burns hasn't completely figured it out yet. Pirates are hitting, so I'm going to stay off of it. But I would look for some props, if anything, in this one.
Yeah, I got to stay out. Maybe a first 5 under. But again, it's been glimpses of brilliance for Burns. It just has not been consistent enough yet in his early goings up in the big leagues with the Reds.
And it's mostly the road starts, right?
Yeah.
That he has given up a few more runs. So that makes me a little bit nervous here.
Even though PNC is a much better ballpark to pitch in than his home park in Cincy. So we'll see how it plays out tonight.
Very true.
On the Three Rivers. Let's go to Atlanta next. Braves take the first one off the fish last night, 8-6. Today it is Cabrera against Elder. Miami, again, I'm just going to go back to what I've said the last few days on the Marlins. And this opened at the price that I thought was right, where Cabrera is a small favorite and probably should be. He's significantly better than Bryce Elder this year, -110. And now it's up to -130 now, though, for the game. That's a little expensive for me on Miami. I thought that -110 was fair. I wouldn't go up the ladder. I would just steer clear of this because that price has gotten too rich for my taste, Alex.
And the Braves got me yesterday. Marlins was looking good, 6-2 through 5, and then a 3-run home run, and then it was all Braves after that. So I kind of went away from my own trends this year and going with the first 5. So that's the only way I would go back on the Marlins here. I do think that there is a big pitching advantage with Cabrera versus Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder's, I mean, he's been pretty bad as of late. He against the Rangers went 2 2/3 and gave up 8 in that one. There's a couple of starts down there against the Angels, gave up 4, 9 against the Phillies. So I think the Marlins have an opportunity to score some runs here early, but I wouldn't touch the full game.
I'm staying out of this. Like I said, it just at that -110 area code. Yeah, that's I could get behind Miami, but not laying -30 on the road. Again, Marlins have been playing significantly better, even though they have lost now 3 of the last 4 after sweeping the Yankees over the weekend in Miami. All right, let's go to Milwaukee next. The unbelievable Milwaukee Brewers, 70-44. Best record in baseball. 4 games clear of everyone in the National League right now. And they face the Mets, a playoff rematch from a year ago. Mets are reeling right now after that 7-game win streak. They've given it all back, losing 8 out of 9. And now they have to go to the hottest team in baseball. On paper, this is a good pitching matchup. Brandon Woodruff has been awesome since coming back after missing all last year because of injury. Kodai Senga has not pitched well since coming back from his injury. He's only had 1 start where he's given up less than 3 earned runs, and that was one where he just continued getting in and out of trouble in Kansas City. You might also be happy to not see the Giants, who he did not pitch well against either timeout. This is Milwaukee tonight, a -140 here at the South Point, Alex, with a total of 7.5.
This is a lean right there, that 4, going under that 4 with these two, but you really got to trust Senga to pitch well here against this Brewers lineup that has been red hot. I do think Woodruff can pitch well and hold the Mets down at least for the first 5, but I don't really know. I'm not that confident in jumping in on this under. I think there's a couple better ones coming up here, but I mean, we know Senga can do it, and he did face the Giants twice, as you mentioned, and they got to him both times. So We'll see. I want to see how he does here today, but it's been a while, right, since the Brewers have actually won a series off of the Mets?
Last year, Milwaukee took both regular series.
Oh, okay.
Regular season series. It was 5-1 Milwaukee in the regular season last year. In those 6 against the Mets. Mets did take 2 out of 3 in July.
Yes.
Against the Brewers at Citi Field. So again, both of these teams currently in the playoffs. Again, Brewers the best record in baseball. Mets 2.5 behind Philadelphia, a game behind San Diego for the 5 seed. Right now, there you go. Mets currently in that final wild card slot as they were a year ago in the National League playoffs. All right, let's go to St. Louis. Boyd and McGreevy, your pitching matchup for the Cubs and the Cardinals. Cubs, tough luck right now. Normally, the NL Central has been a good place to be over the last few years. They have the second best record in the NL, and they're currently in the top wild card because of what Milwaukee has done now for the last few months. 66-48. Cardinals, again, they're on the outside looking in. They're 500. They sold at the deadline. They put Nolan Arenado on the IL earlier this week as well with an injury that a lot of people are skeptical about. Let's just go with that. Boyd and McGreevy today. McGreevy's pitched really well over his last 5 starts for St. Louis. He's plus 135 today. Boyd, of course, the All-Star, has been Chicago's most consistent starter this year, is minus 150 with a total of 8.5.
He really has, and I definitely think that he is the better pitcher going here today. Michael McGreevy, he's been decent enough. There has been a couple outings though. San Diego did see him twice, kind of like we are just talking about with the Giants, and definitely put some runs on him. So I think it's a Cubs spot. I think that minus 150 is pretty cheap price. They are on the road. I think I'm just going to stay away from you and Ryan's teams though. So if I were betting it, I would bet on the Cubs here today to get this win.
It's a good price on Boyd, and I also think this is a reasonable run line price as well. You're getting plus money at minus 1.5. On the Cubs, you're guaranteed the 9 at bats with the road team. I don't think that's a bad look if you want to take that route as well. And again, I like McGreevy. He's actually, like we said, pitched reasonably well over the last few weeks. But Boyd, this is a big series for the Cubs, especially with what's coming next week. Or 2 weeks from now, I should say. Well, next week they go to Toronto, which is a difficult series, but that gigantic 5-game, hey, time to get back in the lead of the NL Central potential for the Cubs. That's 2 weeks from now, that 5-gamer at Wrigley Field against Milwaukee, which the Brewers find a way to win that series and they go in with like a 3-game lead, then Milwaukee is going to be in amazing shape to win the NL Central for the third consecutive year. Of course, they won it in 2023 as well before they were swept out by the eventual NL champion Arizona Diamondbacks. Almost forget about that, right? Speaking of the Diamondbacks, see, we can be quick on the Diamondbacks here. They host the Rockies. Rockies got just absolutely annihilated by Toronto over 3 games in Denver midweek. It's Gomber and Gallen. Gallen's a minus 240 with a total of 9 tonight, Alex.
Feels pretty crazy with Zach Gallen going in a total of 9, but I do think that number is right. I think that the Diamondbacks should be this big of a favorite over the Rockies, but there's no way that I want to lay that right now with these two. So yeah, you're right. We could be quick on this. This was a definite pass for me.
Yeah, we can move on. And both of these teams are out of it. Diamondbacks, big favorite. Probably shouldn't be this big of a favorite against anyone in baseball other than the 30-84 Colorado Rockies. All right, let's go to San Francisco next. The Nats are just really, other than the win 2 days ago, the Nats are just playing awful baseball since the All-Star break. And they are a plus 145 underdog tonight against a San Francisco Giant bullpen game. Yep. Plus 145 on Jake Irvin, who's going for the Nats. It'll be Gage, who at least throws the first inning, and we'll see who goes behind him for San Francisco tonight. Total 8.5. If I had any trust at all in the Nats, who are just playing just truly terrible baseball over the last few weeks, this feels like a good price against the Giant bullpen game, but that's a lot of holding of the nose in order to get there here tonight, Alex.
It definitely would be. And I agree with you. I think the Giants should probably be a minus 120 here at home with the bullpen day. But looking at the Nats and their lineup in the last 7 games, I mean, batting .211 as a team, .277 on base percentage, and 66 WRC plus. So not enough to jump in there at plus 145. If it keeps going up, maybe if we could get to 155, it might be worth a little bit, but nothing as of right now.
It is, again, Giants sold at the deadline. The Nats have the second worst record in the National League. Giants, you get hot. Mets continue to falter, maybe, but again, they're the long shot at this point. That's why they sold essentially their whole bullpen, at least the good pieces, other than Randy Rodriguez, at the deadline. 5 games without the tiebreaker, so really 5.5 behind New York entering today's action. All right, let's go to the American League side of New York. Yankees, Astros. This is a matchup that usually gets the juices flowing, and I'm a little surprised by the pricing here tonight, Alex, where the Yankees, who are in the midst of this just horrendous stretch, and look, it could have just been a bad road trip that gets glorified because it's the Yankees. And the way that they lost those games in Texas and Miami made it stand out a little bit more than they usually would. But they're returning home tonight. Schlittler will get the ball for the Yankees. But the best pitcher on the Astros staff, Hunter Brown's going tonight.
That's right.
And I thought that Houston should have come a small favorite, even with Aaron Judge back. I thought Houston should have been the smallest of favorites tonight. And the market opened that at minus 115. This is now flipped to the Yankees being favored, Alex. I would be very careful of betting New York in this game. It would only be a look to the Astros. But now I'm going to wait to see maybe if I can get plus as opposed to just laying at 5 cents here.
I will definitely be on the Astros today. I agree with you completely. I think the Astros should be about minus 140 here on the road against the Yankees. I mean, they started to hit. They got Hunter Brown going, and he did have a small hiccup within like the last 7 games. There was a stretch where Texas, Cleveland, and Seattle all got to him, but now he's had 2 really good starts against the Athletics and Boston, and I think both of those are very good lineups. So I think he can pitch good here against the Yankees, especially with their offensive numbers as of late. I mean, the Astros, with their moves before the deadline, they really were starting to hit. So I think that they are the hotter team going into the series.
Stros, again, with a good series in Miami, unlike the Yankees. They took 2 out of 3, but again, that lead has dipped for Houston, only a game and a half clear of the red-hot Mariners, who look every bit the part that I would have hoped out of the deadline. Again, right behind Boston, only a game and a half behind Houston in the American League West entering today's action. All right, we can be quick on this one, even though this might be go find the correct total number in Baltimore here tonight. With the O's and the A's, Ginn and Sugano, it's a 10 here at the South Point. Orioles, slightest of favorites tonight at Camden Yards. Now, it's a 10. There's some 9.5 out there. The weather is good for hitting, but the wind is not ideal. If this was wind blowing out, it'd probably be a 10.5. The wind is a crosswind, slightly in at 83 degrees tonight. I still like it over if you find a 9.5, and that is available at Circa here in town. Neither of these pitchers, especially in hot weather, I like. So I would only lean to the over here. Not strong, but go find a 9.5.
I mean, especially with both of these young lineups, right? And they've been very inconsistent, and that's where they are right now in the standings. But we know that they both can hit when they get going. And we've really seen Baltimore, start to come around here late in the season. And the Athletics, we've seen them definitely put up some runs. So I'm with you. That's the only way I would play it. I mean, Yin is coming off a pretty good start. Well, he actually got hit up pretty good by the Diamondbacks. But before that, he had a couple good starts. So I do think he's slightly the better pitcher against Sugano, but not enough to jump in on that side. Wow, it's actually moved down quite a bit here. The Orioles as the favorite. So, only way I would play it is definitely that over.
2 teams going nowhere here in 2025. Again, Orioles and A's, a pair of last-place teams in Camden Yards tonight. We go to Detroit. You see the Tigers there with the second-best record in the American League. And they'll throw the best pitcher in baseball tonight. Tariq Skubal gets the ball. He's a $3 favorite against the Angels and Kyle Hendricks. Total 7.5. Alex, is there anything we can do here with that gigantic price? And correctly so on Skubal tonight.
Jeez, no, there really isn't. I mean, I think it's a little steep think he should be like minus 250, but that's not enough to jump in at the plus 250. There's a run line. You could take the 1.5 with the Angels, getting a plus price, and hope that it's a low-scoring game and they can stay relatively close. But I've really got nothing here in this one. I don't want to lay $3.
Tigers again lead down to 6 in the AL Central. That's the closest that's been since May. This Cleveland has started to play better. Tigers look like they stabilized it, then had a bad week in the middle of the week against Minnesota, but they have their ace on the hill tonight against, again, the epitome of average, the Los Angeles Angels yet again here in 2025. All right, let's go to Cleveland and the White Sox. So you see the Guardians only 6 games back now, and he'll throw Tanner Bybee tonight on the road on the south side of Chicago. Aaron Savali, former Cleveland pitcher himself, is plus 125 tonight, total of 8. Alex, there are better prices in the market on Cleveland, and I would consider going to search for those tonight. You can get minus 135 in this game. Again, it's weird. Cleveland hasn't played as well as you would have liked against the bottom feeder White Sox here this year.
That is true. I was thinking more of an under with these two going. Our first 5, do we have any weather concerns in Chicago?
Chicago tonight, the south side of Chicago is 88 degrees with a crosswind at 10 miles an hour. Okay,
because, you're right. Savali going up against his old team. He's had 3 really good starts coming into this. 3 scoreless starts, going 6-5 and 6 1/3 against the Pirates, the Cubs, and the Angels. So I think he can pitch relatively good here. Tanner Bybee on the other side, he might actually be coming in not in his best form. You mentioned it about Twins, 4 2/3, 4 earned runs on 8 hits. That is the start he's coming in here on. So I do think that price is right, minus 140. Nothing really on the side, but if we trust Tanner Bybee to actually slow down the White Sox at least first 5, it'd be a lean under there.
Get 4. Don't think you can get any 4.5s on that first. Yeah, it is 4.5. Juiced, heavy. Minus 25, minus 30. So, yeah, if you're willing to eat the juice, go for it there at 4.5. I was even thinking 4. You could go ahead and maybe even a 4 even would be pretty good in that spot. All right, Minneapolis is next. Minnesota and Kansas City. Joe Ryan, Seth Lugo, good pitching matchup at Target Field tonight. Ryan's a minus 135 favorite, a total of 8 here tonight, Alex.
One thing I will say is, as much as I like Joe Ryan, I do think that this is priced wrong. I do think that he's the better pitcher going here today, but I think Seth Lugo is above average as well, pretty elite. So Kansas City still playing for something. Full game, I would look more to the dog here, but I do like this first 5 under 4. I think that that's a good play here with both these pitchers going. Seth Lugo, median is 2, going 6 innings, and then Joe Ryan, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. So I'm definitely going to play that one here. I've got a couple coming up within the last 5 games, and that's going to be on the board.
It's, again, both of these teams out of it, realistically speaking. Kansas City 8.5 behind Detroit in the American League Central, 5.5, I should say 5 out of the playoffs entering today. All right, let's go to Seattle next. Those Mariners, we talked about them. The Mariners handled their business. Got a little lucky yesterday, but they did win in extra innings against the White Sox. But they got it done. It's all that mattered.
Bases loaded, and we couldn't get over that 4.5.
Yeah, no bueno on that. Castillo and Rasmussen tonight. This is actually a pretty good price on Seattle, isn't it? Minus 120. I know Rasmussen has been great for Tampa, but minus 120 with it's an even pitching matchup in my book, even with how good Rasmussen has been. I think that's a good price on Seattle here tonight at home.
It is. I think there's about 15 cents of value there. I think they should probably be minus 135. So if you do like that angle, I don't hate it at all. I think this is another first 5 under. We're in Seattle. I trust both of these pitchers going. So I'm going under that. I believe it is 4 as well, right? Yeah. We're getting a 4 under minus 120. So there's another first 5 under for me today. But you're right. Rasmussen, he's been great.
He's been awesome. Tampa didn't want to sell him at the deadline, and I can't blame him for wanting to keep him around. And for Seattle, again, they're 1.5 behind Houston. This is a real race in the American League West now, and for Seattle. They're still in the 5 slot. Remember, Boston is the top wild card entering today's action. We'll get to the Red Sox a little bit later in a really good interleague game. The 3 interleague games that are on the board today are very, very good for this weekend.
I just cannot believe the drop off from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and it's been an absolutely brutal 6 weeks where they went from at the All-Star break. I still thought they were going to make the playoffs, and now they're 4.5 behind the Yankees, and that's more because the Yankees have been inept the last week. So
yeah,
it's just been not Tampa's year. They had a great 6-week stretch, but not their year in the end. All right, let's go to Texas next. You see those Rangers, 1.5 behind New York, entering today's action in the AL wildcard standings. 4.5 behind Houston in the West. Take on the NL East leading Philadelphia Phillies. And this is a really good pitching matchup tonight. Christopher Sanchez and Merrill Kelly, your matchup at Globe Life tonight. A total of 7.5. Sanchez at -130 on the road, Alex.
I think you know where I'm going again with this one, right?
First 5 under.
That's right.
We did it.
We're going to just throw it in there, round robin, those last 3 games that I just said. I like it. I'm almost leaning to the home team, though, getting that plus price. I do think Merrill Kelly's going to pitch really well here today, and I really don't trust the Phillies lineup on the road. So, I mean, that's the way I'd lean for side, but I'm just going to stick with first 5 under here between these two. Christopher Sanchez has just been awesome. So, and Texas, I mean, we've got that under trend going throughout this whole season.
The Rangers, again, still in the mix. Again, it's the Yankees just can't be as bad as they were this last week. You just would think not. And really the bigger question for me with this American League playoff race, we'll get to the Red Sox game in a second, is what they're doing sustainable?
Right.
Because the Red Sox they have been so good since the All-Star break where, again, you trade your best player early in the season. All right, that might be that. You have a pretty inactive deadline, all things considered. And here you are, the Red Sox are 8-2 in their last 10. And they're up to the top wild card. They're only 4 behind Toronto. They're still alive in the American League East. So it just that's where my head is at more so than anything in this wild card race right now. And you see the price for the Red Sox today. It's Walker Buehler on the bump in San Diego against the Padres. Pivetta goes for San Diego tonight. He's a -165 favorite at Petco and a total of 8 between 2 current wild card teams in their respective leagues, Alex.
I mean, we know at this point Walker Buehler is not really Walker Buehler, and I do think that the Padres have a huge pitching advantage with Pivetta. I mean, he still has a sub-1 whip and, 136 strikeouts on the year to 32 walks. I definitely think the home team is the right side. It's just a matter of if you want to lay that juice or not. I am probably not going to get involved here. I feel like I've been burned by both of these teams when I bet against the Red Sox and bet on the Padres. So stay off for me, but I do think the Padres is the right side.
Can I go to your well and take under first 5 in this game? I mean, again, it's the one concern that I have, and maybe I'm overrating the Padres a little bit right now, but their deadline was so strong and is already reaping the rewards right away.
Right.
And I power rate their lineup differently now, significantly than I did a week ago. The Ryan O'Hearn edition, really, again, Merrill, we talked about this earlier this week. Merrill, Cronenworth not hitting for power at all this year. You bring in the power left-handed bat, it totally changes the way the lineup is. Padres are only 2 behind the Dodgers entering today's action. And the Dodgers have to play the Blue Jays, which we'll get to in a second this weekend. So this is potentially serious. By the way, there's 2 series left for the Padres and the Dodgers against each other, too. So it is a race. It's a genuine race. By the way, Padres 4-1 to win the National League. Second favorites, only behind, of course, the LA Dodgers, who have been the favorites from day one here in this baseball season. We
don't have first 5 run line here, but man, that might be another good way to play it here with the Padres.
It's not as good of a price as I would have hoped. It's a laying a half a run -25.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not as good of a price as I would have hoped on that.
I hate when those odds makers are good at their job.
Sometimes, yeah, right. All right, one last one. It's pretty amazing that this is only the second time that Kershaw and Scherzer have faced each other in the regular season.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what we got. 2 guys who will be first ballot Hall of Famers, two of the best pitchers of the generation go against each other. The first time these two met, of course, in a regular season game it's that famous clip from their rookie year where Vince Scully was going through everything, and it was like, today's pitching matchup was supposed to be Randy Johnson and Greg Maddux. And it would have ended up with four Hall of Famers when it's all said and done, amazingly enough. But Kershaw's a minus 135 favorite. The Jays, who have been the best team, the second best team in baseball over the last 6 weeks, at plus 120, a total of 9. Alex, I'm steering clear of this game. If anything, this total feels a little high at 9. But again, Scherzer is still trying to figure himself out here.
Yeah, you're right. I would give that more to Clayton Kershaw, that he has definitely come more into form of the two, coming off of one of his better starts, right? 6 innings pitch against Tampa Bay, scoreless, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks in that one. I was trying to figure it out, Jeff, and I have nothing on this one either. I think it's priced correctly. Maybe a little cheap on the Dodgers at home there. I thought it was a little higher. It looks like people are taking that plus money with the Blue Jays, but they have been hot offensively. So that's the only way I'd lean. I thought it was minus 145. I thought that was correct. So it's only a 10-cent difference. Not enough for me. I think the total is correct too. But I was trying to pick a year that you might say. I was thinking 2015. What was your initial thought with these two? Where you'd say, if it was 2015, this would be a great pitching matchup. Or what year would you have used?
That 2015's fine. 2017's fine. Honestly, there's a lot of there's a decade worth of deals. 2008 was the first matchup between these two, right, Ryan? Yeah, it was 2008. That game. By the way,
so I was thinking prime though for both of them.
Yeah. I mean, look, these guys were 7 years. You could pick one of 7 years basically for both of these guys. And also, quick correction on my end. It's the 4th regular season start. We don't get information from social media. We got to remember that, Jeff. So there you go. But again, that first one in 2008 was the first. And Clayton Kershaw was only 20 in 08, by the way. Scherzer 23 at the time, 17 years ago. There you go. All right. That's a baseball card here for today. Trivia question live as well. Be ready for that. See if we can get some winners today. And now we'll take a break. When we get back, our good friend Vinny Magliulo makes his triumphant return to the desk when we get back. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. Bingo! And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books. 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day. The friendly ticket writers are happy to help, and it's conveniently located next to the famous Del Mar Deli, where you'll find supersized portions of delicious deli items like roast beef, pastrami, and Reuben sandwiches, or soups, salads, and pizza, plus spectacular desserts fit for a king. And right next door is the race book, over 150 seats, each with its own TV screen. There are 16 interactive player terminals, so you can bet right from your seat.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book. South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Jeff Parles, Alex White, and joining us, I'm going to give him a round of applause. I'm going to do it. We're going to give him a round of applause.
Well, and it's his birthday week.
And it was his birthday earlier this week.
Thank you. Yes.
He's right at the age of 45 years old.
Thank you. Yes.
All right,
Actually,
good.
I'm now a Mountain West total.
Oh, there we go.
That's the best way I can describe my age. And you'd be well suited to bet the over. So,
Vinny. That's the best line we had here all week. I'm now Mountain West total. That's
right.
Good. There we go.
People
Perfect.
say, how old are you? Just think about Mountain West total and keep going.
Vinny Maliulo, everyone. Vinny, it's great to have you back.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. As always, the hair looks great. The
Thank
jacket
you.
looks great. We know that. So, Vinny, we get to start off.
Uh-huh.
We're going to get into college stuff because
Sure.
games of the year have been out for a week now.
Yes.
Your prop has been out about a week now.
Yep.
We'll get to that in a moment, but we got to at least start because you got Dan Quinn and Mike Vrabel, 2 very big football guys behind me right now.
Yes.
For one of the preseason games tonight. We have 3.
Mm-hmm.
After last night, it was underdog.
Yeah, the moves did not get there
not
last night in the preseason.
John Harbaugh continued his preseason dominance.
All the games went over.
Yep.
Right. So but good action and to get things rolling. I mean, obviously had the Hall of Fame game last week, but really, this is the week. Even though there's only 3 weeks of preseason games, still the folks are showing their propensity, their desire for it, and they're looking for those preseason trends, right? Which coaches seem to take it a little more serious? Who's had success over the years? Remember, it was Zimmerman for a long time when he was with the Vikings, and then you mentioned Harbaugh, but there's things that there are trends, but you want to pay attention to. This is another example of where watching press conferences during the week, not just day of, but during the week and leading up to, what are coaches looking for? What can they expect? Pay particular attention to quarterback battles, right? Which teams have not really penciled in their exact, starters and number ones and number twos. So those are the things that you want to look for, and it takes some time, but really almost on a daily basis as teams go through training and training camp too. Pay attention. Look, we were talking off air. Look, the Chargers yesterday lose a key component to you could have made a case that they certainly had one of, if not the best offensive line, going into this season, and now, of course, losing one of their premier tackles for the season to an injury during practice. You have to take those things into account.
Slater with a patellar tear after signing the largest tackle contract in NFL history.
Yeah.
So we we actually have to redo our Chargers preview because of it. Because
it's a big injury.
I mean,
no doubt.
it changes the complexion of what was going to be an elite offensive line.
And I must say, and we've talked about this in the past, and again, it bears mentioning that we on our side of the counter in recent years have really had to pay much closer attention to offensive line play, offensive line depth, and which offensive lines are better and which ones need to be improved. And when we look at injury reports during the course of the week, of course, we're always concerned. You start with the skill positions, right? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, a premier defensive player, like a linebacker or a corner or something. But you've really got to pay attention to offensive lines more and more, and professional bettors have known that for a very long time.
Vinny, let's get into some college here,
Yeah.
because, of course, we have the games of the year, and you actually have some line movement for us. You must have taken some bets. Before we get into that, though, you were gone.
I was gone, but not forgotten.
But you helped Chris come up with these stuff.
So I was traveling, and again, whenever, even though if we're not here, and Chris did the same thing when he was away before me, kind of a working vacation. So we were doing it long distance, and so what I did was, Chris did a great. He put the matchups together, and he gave them to me, and I took them with me, and so I made my numbers. Our exercise is where he'll make his numbers, I'll make mine, and then we put them up. We compare them, and then Chris makes the final decision. He puts them up, and they went up last Friday. So I should say this: that one of the biggest differences, because a lot of times people say, "Where did you guys differ the most?" I would say our biggest difference was with Navy. I think we and Air Force,
Service academies.
the Service Academy. Our ratings had the biggest difference, the disparity in terms of their power ratings. So
I'm not surprised by that at all.
yeah, I just I think again, and it's just a matter of opinion, and there really wasn't. I don't think there was a whole lot of movement between in the Service Academy games, and I'll go over the moves with you. But all in all, I mean, by and large, we were pretty close with our preseason number, our rankings, and of course took them into account for these. But we started with September 6th, matchups on September 6th. If you want to just go through the changes.
Go ahead. Yep.
The Michigan-Oklahoma game, Oklahoma opened at 3.5. They took the half point with Michigan, and now the game sits at 3. Michigan-Nebraska a couple of weeks later on the 20th, they laid the 3 with Michigan on the road at Nebraska. So that game's at 3.5. So some early love for the Wolverines, who figured to be improved this year, definitely when you look at the Big Ten. And by the way, the Big Ten, I think you look at it, SEC, yes, strong, but probably the Big Ten overall a little bit stronger from a power rating standpoint as a conference going into this season. And the good thing too is, and we'll get into as we can probably talk a little bit about week 1. Not week 0. Again, it's just Coke Zero. That's fine. I'm not in the soft drink business.
That's
so
Coke Zero.
that first
Coke
week,
Zero sugar. Now,
yeah, whatever. Yeah. So hence week 1, but you look at those games, and I think one of the really good byproducts of the playoff system and the expanded playoff is that a week 1 loss is not a death sentence anymore. And it because teams still, can play themselves into the national playoff picture, and good for us as bookmakers to have those opportunities, and for bettors to have these kinds of games throughout the season, not just waiting till the end of the year. So a little bit of a sidebar there.
Vinny, before
Yeah.
I'm going to take a sidebar too, because
Sure.
I want to ask Jeff if that hook interested him at all with Nebraska now getting 3.5
No.
at home.
Not at home?
No.
Okay.
After our talk with Danny and everything,
no.
first
No. The
What
big
do you need?
Conference
What do you need,
games.
Jeff? What do you
here's
need?
No. Here's the big question on Michigan, more so than anything, because it's the three-headed monster at the top of the Big Ten. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, whatever order you want to put in them, they're clearly the three best teams in the league. Michigan, to me, is the fourth best team, but I have huge questions about the quarterback position for the second straight year. And the question with that, because that's an end of September game, that Nebraska game.
The game in Nebraska is September 20th.
Yeah, so it's week 4, give or take. Will the Michigan quarterback situation be resolved by then? That's really the question. Will one of the quarterback, will Keene or the freshman, will they have really grabbed the bull by the horns here? That's the big question more so than anything.
That's a good point.
But if they haven't, and Dylan Raiola looks really good,
then Nebraska could then that 3.5 could look really damn good at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the evaluation. That's the handicap, that part of the handicap that you're looking at right now. And again, of course, monitoring injuries too for the college teams as well as they continue to practice through the rest of the summer. Following game, Illinois and Indiana. Indiana, they laid to 3 and 3.5, and that game is now sitting at 4.
And we talked about that one at length with Chris last week.
Yeah, that was early. That was a very early play. Washington at Washington State, same week, up a full point to 13.5. That's not a couple of moves there. That's again with these typically professional money, and you look at the folks that have done their job and done a great job on the other side of the counter. So that's a full point move there. The next week, the 27th of September, nice game here, Alabama and Georgia at Athens. They took the 4.5 with Bama, and that game now sits at 4. A week, the same week, Oregon at Penn State. They took 5.5 with the Ducks at Happy Valley, and that game now sits at 5. A couple of weeks later, October 11th, Utah, and I will get both of your opinion on this, because when we get through these games, we used Utah quite a bit, and Utah got either a strong opinion for or a strong opinion against. This game here, Utah at home on October 11th against Arizona State, who was obviously a very a big surprise last year and played outstanding. Made the playoff, the national playoff. Game opened with Utah as a 4-point favorite at home. They now sit as 3-point favorites. So the next few weeks, not a lot of activity. So, we waited a little bit this year too to refine our power ratings, and it looks like it paid off well, because they're more stable. There's a lot more stability in our numbers going into these games of the year compared to last year. November 15th, again, another game involving Utah against Baylor at Baylor. The game opened pick. Now Baylor a 1-point favorite. We go to, here's one with our Rebels, Alex, your alma mater. UNLV at Nevada on November 29th. Rebels 14 down to 13. So they took the 2 touchdowns with the Wolfpack, and those are the biggest moves. Again, there's plenty of games to choose from on here. As we get into these weeks, they'll come down, but then adjusted to on a week after. So in other words, when you look at some of the games that are a month into the season, obviously those numbers will change, predicated on how the teams perform in previous weeks and how they come through from an injury perspective.
It's interesting, everyone, the Utah one, because we were talking about Utah actually before the show, starts and ends with one guy, the transfer quarterback from New Mexico, Devin Dampier, who we saw some glimpses that were quite good last year from New Mexico, and then you had the decision-making, like, what, the defender's right there,
Well, Cam Rising, I think, is 40 now.
Well, Cam Rising, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, too.
And seriously, I say that joking, but here's a guy that you spent the last 2 years, with injuries.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
We actually know who's, like, it was a whole song and dance for 2 years with Rising, and now you have, all right, Devin Dampier is the clear number one quarterback from day one in Utah.
Sounds like those two bets are more on the other team, right? Because people are very high. Well, still Arizona State coming back after that outstanding year last year, and then Baylor. A lot of people very high on Baylor.
Yeah,
so,
going against Utah right now again, but not huge numbers by any means, but still, it's kind of we'll wait and see, maybe too.
It's interesting. The tact I've seen from some college football people I really trust is that they maybe go against Arizona State this year because they're a little inflated because of what they did a year ago.
It's fair.
They're without their best offensive player from a year ago is in the NFL now with Scatabo. We'll see. The Big 12 is wide open, and as you see, Vinny, we'll go to what's on the screen right now, which is last year you had the perfect natural mix of two dominant forces at the top. So Ohio State and Georgia versus the field was a natural prop, Wayward Road, but the Ohio State-Georgia side obviously got there with the Buckeyes. This year a little bit different, more of a college basketball-like feel from what you guys usually do for the NCAA tournament. You're going with the conference to win the national championship here in college football. The SEC, the slightest of favorites at plus 135, just many more so on the nature that there are more capable teams to possibly win it. The Big Ten, those big team, 3 of the 4 favorites on the board, but not much after that, plus 140. The ACC at 10-1. The field, which includes the G5 and Notre Dame.
Yes, Notre Dame is in the field.
And the Big 12 at 15-1.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier about, I personally have the Big Ten a little bit ahead of the SEC, but it's basically a pick 'em. Chris and I were talking about this too when the same day we were doing the games of the year. If you look at the SEC, that's predicated on who? Georgia still, right? No question about it. Big Ten, obviously Ohio State and Penn State. I think Penn State, they've got the most coming back. Had a good offseason in terms of recruiting and the transfer portal. Oregon, certainly a factor. So, then, of course, the SEC also, I mentioned Georgia, but Texas, right? The number one team in the country in the eyes of many folks. You've got, a lot of hype around that team, particularly with Arch Manning. So we'll see how they handle that. And again, you've got a great game to start the season, Texas and Ohio State. There are people saying that, especially if it's a close game, is that a preview of the national championship game? Come January. So, we would not have that game without the current playoff structure. If it was simply, the top 4 teams in the country from a ranking perspective, that I don't believe that game would take place. So good, one of the best byproduct from a business and a fan's perspective is the expanded playoff format. ACC, interesting, right? Clemson figures to be better this year than
his best roster he's had in a few years.
No doubt about it. So Dabo, certainly is going to need some results. I'm not by any means suggesting he's on the hot seat, but figure to be better. And again, the Big 12 is so wide open, but not quite at the top tier as the SEC and the Big Ten. And then, of course, you mentioned the field, which includes Notre Dame, and we'll see what kind of wild card gets in there. And again, if the Irish can get to the postseason, who knows what they can do.
And Clemson and LSU, by the way, play each other week 1. There was a little bit of an injury scare in Baton Rouge with Nussmeier. It's just a patellar tendonitis is what Brian Kelly said before practice earlier today. So
let's see how that game has moved, because we've obviously got
week 1 and week 1
week 1
already.
1 and 1A.
Yeah, there you go. What do you have? Clemson? How much now?
Clemson up to 4. That game they laid the 3 and laid 3.5 with Clemson in that game, and let's see, bet it over. It's at 57. A little bit on the over money. Yeah, not real surprising.
You have your NFL week 1 as well.
I have week 1 in the NFL, which again this picks up as well. Listen, we're now at a point where visitors that are coming in who are not going to be here for particularly week 1 of the NFL season, which by the way starts on Thursday, September 4th, and we've got a Friday game again.
Yes.
So that Thursday game, Cowboys-Eagles, no change there. Eagles a 7-point favorite. Micah Parsons' story, again, there's always seems to be something going on with the Cowboys, going into the season. That game hasn't moved at all off the 7. Chiefs at the Chargers, that game, they laid the 2.5, now 3. Probably going to see maybe some more Chief money with the injury that you mentioned earlier, Jeff, for the Chargers. Other games that have moved, they took the 7 with the Giants. Again, that's a play on the number against the Commanders, who, again, another team that's not going to sneak up on anybody this year, but they're still good. And, in fact, they're better. I think they're better than a year ago. Deebo Samuel's a big addition, I think, for the Commanders.
They still got to get Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, right? Good.
Signed too, of course, because that's a
Yeah.
huge addition. But Jeff and I did our preview for the New York Football Giants, and
What do you think? How do you I mean, obviously
pretty
the
good
quarterback
power rating. Like their roster is good. Their schedule is brutal.
brutal schedule.
Horrible.
So
Yes.
it's hard to find those wins. But 7, I missed that.
Interesting. Their schedule is more tough, more difficult than the 49ers, right? And
Yeah.
like
Just slightly.
yeah, slightly.
Just slightly. Niners, who have one of the lowest preseason opponents' win totals of the last 5 years. I believe it was the second lowest going into the year. And then the Giants, who have quite possibly the most insane schedule I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Now, granted, here's the thing, and Chris has brought this up, and Chris is right. You don't know going into the season.
No.
It looks like one thing on paper,
That's right.
but
Can't play them on paper.
You have no idea. By week 5, we could be having a totally different tune on the strength of these schedules.
Niners, they moved they laid 1.5 with the Niners at Seattle in week 1. That
They
game was
laid
at
it,
2.
Yeah.
Biggest move so far: Cardinals at the Saints, 1.5 up to 6 from the
That was
4.5 open.
You know what's going to happen there, Alex. It's going to be it's going to be on when we get to.
Is that your first Survivor play, Jeff?
No,
is that what you're rubbing? Is that what you're saying?
No. I don't take road teams in week 1, but that is going to be all right. Tyler Shuck is going to make his NFL debut. It's probably going to be up to 6.5, maybe even 7 by the time the game gets here in a month.
My touch.
And I'm going to be like, well, how can I not take New Orleans getting a touchdown at home?
That's
and
right.
Arizona wins 31-10.
That's right.
I know
Yeah.
that. I heard it's already been written. You know what's going to happen.
The only
with
thing
that.
worse would be is when the Saints score first.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. When New Orleans kicks a field goal on like a 6-minute march and they can't
Right.
they can't punch
There
it
you
in the
go.
red zone,
it.
and Kellen Moore takes the points. That's gonna be great.
The other game, Packers, week 1 from 1 to 2.5 against the Lions.
So that's interesting, isn't it?
Yes and no. I think that there's a school of thought that maybe the Lions maybe there'll be a step back, and teams are now. But again, are the Packers going to start off really good? They've not particularly started off particularly well. So I suspect that number. I know this: if that game touches 3, don't blink, as I say.
Right. I'll be waiting.
Yes, I'm sure. And a flip of favorites on Monday night in Chicago, and the Bears. Some support for the Bears, who a lot of folks think will be improved, and I think they will be improved. Of course, it'll all depend on how they can protect their quarterback and his decision making. But the Vikings are now a 1.5-point favorite after the Bears opened as a 1-point favorite.
Yeah, that's that Chicago. I already know is going to be on the card week 1, especially as an underdog. Now that again, it's J.J. McCarthy's first NFL start on the road, prime time, tough place to play.
Yeah.
No Jordan Addison either. He's suspended 3 games. And that move happened this week after the Addison suspension
correct.
also, which doesn't make people reacting to Caleb Williams, that ugly, that one ugly tape, which who cares? It's training camp. Doesn't matter.
Again, it's what's fresh in people's minds many times, right?
It's a good Monday night game. Great primetime games week 1.
Oh, yeah. Again, Cowboys-Eagles on Thursday. Chiefs at the Chargers on Friday the 5th. And then primetime, how about this? The Ravens and the Bills on Sunday night.
What a great Sunday night
which
game.
that game is holding steady is with the Bills as a 1-point favorite in the total 52. And then you mentioned it, Vikings-Bears on Monday night, September 8th. So
it's a great
great
4-game slot. And Boy, I'm going to tell you, there's a pick in the market on Buffalo and Baltimore. That's super enticing on Buffalo as a pick at home on a Sunday night.
A lot of high hopes. Oh, really?
Yeah, she's
Alex.
Alex and I are not going to. We haven't done our Raven preview yet, Vinny. We're not going to see eye to eye on how elite they are.
Oh, that's okay with
Two-way
me.
action.
There it is. There it is.
That's okay
From
with
our
me.
old
He
home.
said.
There we go.
Let's get it off on the right foot.
Get it off on the right foot for sure. All right,
Football season.
Vinny. Anything else we need to know before we take a break?
I think don't lose sight of baseball. A lot of right now with football taking getting ready to take center stage. We on our side of the counter have to continue to pay attention to baseball, and there are folks that are out there zeroing in on baseball, zeroing in on the WNBA, and hoping maybe to catch our side of the counter napping, but you can't do that. And so, but pay attention to baseball and some teams that really, you obviously know about the high profile. The Yankees.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, right? The Yankees are 6 games out. They're in third, hanging on to a playoff spot. If they get healthy, you might, there's 10, 12 to 1 out there on the Yankees, which I don't know. But I'd say the biggest surprise right now for me, besides Toronto, I think when you look at what the Brewers have done, this is a very good team, great execution. They're getting pitching, they're getting terrific defense, dangerous.
Benny, this has been such a fun baseball season. We've been, we keeping up with the standings since it was way too early.
Two-way action.
And I mean, with the NL East,
Sure.
Phillies and Mets going back and forth, and now the Brewers jump ahead of the Cubs following all of that. So it's been fun. Good point, though, about the Yankees. Maybe don't overreact too much. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is seeing them against the Dodgers last year in the playoffs.
No doubt about it.
I don't think their roster is even as strong as last year.
Probably
But
not,
I guess
especially
you could have a hedging opportunity.
pitching. Well, again, if you get the Yankees at 12 to 1,
Right.
It's probably not,
Yeah.
not as bad, depending on what other tickets you have in your pocket. Because you think about it, a month ago, it was the Dodgers and them, right? I mean, they were 2 to 1, maybe 250.
Yeah.
And a month ago, Toronto was 40 to 1. So keep an eye on the futures.
Very good.
The Mariner price, Mariners being below a lot of those teams, it still would be only a look at Seattle at those prices. Just throwing that out there. I think that's pretty clear with how I've been talking about them last week. But they were 30, but they were 25 to 1 not too long ago either.
Yeah, Seattle's only 2 games back of Houston, I think, right?
Yeah, 1.5. Yep,
Right,
they're in the mix in the AL West.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, trivia, question, and answer Alex's whiteboard, and we'll say goodbye for the week here on Sports by the Book.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Football contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book. South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book. Wrapping things up on a Friday. Parles, White, Maliulo on the desk here to wrap things up for the week. Trivia time. All right, on this date in 1988 was the first time the lights went on at Wrigley Field.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I had flashback.
Flashback. There we go. Game was rained out after 3.5 innings, though. So I'm sure that was a fun night for you guys.
Just another. Let me just say this. Well, finish reading it then.
So the following night, August 9th, was recorded as the first official night game at Wrigley Field. How many night baseball games are currently permitted per season at Wrigley?
So
Good question, Vince.
While people are contemplating that, the Cubs are responsible for more baseball rule changes, okay, than every other team combined. Let me just say that. When games start, when they get postponed, when they get resumed, sometimes in the same day, forget it. You kidding me? I think Harry Carey had something to do with it too. But by the time there were games when Harry Carey was great. By the way, there were games when the Cubs would be playing, and Harry would be calling the game and getting primed. Then they would go into a delay, either a wind or a rain delay or whatever. A game will not be back, and then of course, Harry would still continue to stay hydrated during the during the stoppage and come back and call the game almost like it was the first inning, like it was a whole new game. Oh, good times! But more Cub games caused rule changes for us. Game must be completed by on the game
on the day of the start
stated. Yeah. They went then when the lights came on, everyone after midnight. It was But yeah, that's thanks for bringing that up.
Hopefully you can blame
Vince
Vince
like
on
a trivia
that
question that causes flashbacks.
The correct answer, by the way, is 35 night games per season currently permitted. That's why, of course, every Friday they play at 1:20 local time at Wrigley Field. Mm-hmm. Nick on the board with his third win of the week gets that one
Nick. Good
correct.
job,
Nick and JR battling it out so far here in the
It wasn't
month of
always
August.
that number though since 1980. I think
they progressively
right?
moved it up.
Yeah, makes sense too. Yeah. So great venue.
Probably tied so far for the month, huh?
Vince
Yeah,
has to
we
tell
don't
us
know that.
I'm not certain actually now. So, all right. Whiteboard time, Alex. It is a first five frenzy here today on the whiteboard.
I like it. Let's hope it pays off for us. I'm going Astros first five. We're first five here with Hunter Brown. I'm just gonna go money line there. I'm going Royals and Twins under 4 in the first 5. Rays and Mariners under 4, and Phillies and Rangers. Great pitching matchup, especially in that one. But probably a little round robin there.
I would say so. The under and Astros first fives for Alex here today. Royals, Twins, Rays, Mariners, and Phillies and the Rangers tonight for the whiteboard. All right. That's a week for us here at Sports by the Book. We're back on Monday. We lead off the week, as always, with our good friend Dwayne Colucci, who I believe will still be out of Del Mar again.
Colucci, working hard at trackside.
Hey, look, it's hard work for sure. Got to get those winners over at Del Mar during the summer months, because Everyone migrates back to Las Vegas in about
Yes.
2 weeks from Del Mar.
I was down at Del Mar last Friday. A week ago today. Half of Las Vegas was there.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
It's a great, it's an amazing time. Vinny, thank you. Great
Good
to
to be
see
with
you.
you.
Alex,
Good job.
good work this week as always. We have more NFL previews coming out throughout the weekend as well, so be on the lookout for that at Sports by the Book on Twitter and all the other social media platforms as well. We're back on Monday at 10 a.m. live as always here on the channel. Make sure you're hitting subscribe if you're watching us for the first time today. Ryan, Jerry, Vince, and Drew Dog, and Sean, thank you all. As always, we're back Monday, 10 a.m. right here, Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.